Christmas is coming a bit early for us Vanguard and Weiss players because we recently finally got the announcement that in-person events are going to be happening in 2022, starting with Springfest. Let's get into it.
Stand up, Vanguard.
走れソリよ風のように月見原をパドルパドル
So yeah, I think a lot of people within the Vanguard community are definitely excited for this, myself included, because for most of us, there hasn't been a tournament that we've been able to go to, legitimately go to over the last couple of years, given the current circumstances of this world. And I know for a fact that while myself, among a few other people, especially where I live currently, we've been able to go to in-person events, no problem. For a lot of people, especially starting with Overdress, this will be their first major event. So I'm going to say this right now. Do not try to plan ahead, because I get the sneaking suspicion that with Omicron, with just COVID in general, there will be delays, even if they schedule stuff. Unless they come out and say, hey, we're not delaying anything. These are the times, we've set it up, everything's good to go. Unless they say that, do not just assume that, hey, I can plan a weekend ahead, months in advance. No. Because if you think that, you're gonna be disappointed. I'm telling you this right now. And to be honest, I expect there to be not that many events just starting out. I think Springfest will be kind of a, testing the water situation where Bushiroad's going to see what they can do, how they're going to be able to handle in response to COVID variants and outbreaks that have been going on, and this is going to be more of a testing period. So if you think you can treat this like a tournament that you're used to, don't, because what happens in that situation where you planned an event, you already paid for the hotel, flights, all that, and then they go ahead and delay it for a week. You're kind of screwed at that point. So I think be cautious when you go and get yourself, figured out, start planning for these events to happen, because I suspect that there will be issues that come up, and do not assume that there won't be, unless for some odd reason they sit there and say, hey, everything's going to be all good to go. These dates are final. Nothing will come in the way of that. Even, if things that go outside of our control, then I would just be cautious when planning these events out. The other thing that I think a lot of people are kind of curious about at this point is also how they're going to handle the fact that there's 3 formats now, because back before COVID, there used to be a Saturday tournament, which would be for Standard, and a Premium tournament, which would be for Sunday. Now, because we have 3 formats, this actually complicates things tenfold. Are we going to now suddenly have a Friday V Premium, so that way, each format is, broken up? Or they're going to do certain regionals where on the Sunday tournament, you're going to have V Premium, and then other tournaments you're going to have for exclusively Premium. How they're going to do this, I have no clue. But it is something that is definitely kind of in the back of a lot of people's minds, myself included. And I hope that they find a decent compromise, if anything, to make it so that way we can have these events run as smoothly as possible. One other personal side thing that I have to admit, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how they implement is the deck log system. Before we used to have to fill out a deck sheet for it, but now with the advent of deck log, now that's, that grueling task of actually sitting there writing out all the card names, spelling them correctly, having to write out all the information. So think of a past, really. Like, I still think they'll still have, us have a paper and whatnot, but I think that Decklog is probably going to be the way to go for the future tournaments. Maybe not for this Springfest, but later on down the line, they're just going to say, hey, you here, just provide us with a Decklog with your name, and we're all set to go. And this will probably save a lot of trees in the long run. So yeah, this was just going to be a quick little video discussing, you know, my initial thoughts on it. I'm definitely looking forward to these tournaments, and I'm going to be at least going to 2 of them, and then possibly later on down the line doing 2 more when we get BCS, potentially. I don't know. It really just... there's a lot of questions up in the air right now, and I don't think we'll get any answers until the next year. So, yeah. That's going to do it for this video. I know this one was kind of short in comparison to a lot of the other videos that I tend to do on this channel. But definitely thank you guys so much for checking it out. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.